Hey guys, this is your girl Paula, the Queen from Queens. These are Money Minutes That Matter. It's a talk show where you call me with financial questions and I'll give you financial answers. On this show, we become accountability buddies. That's my new word, accountability buddies. We walk hand in hand to eliminate debt, to maximize our financial future, and to optimize your health. On this show, we walk so that we get people's hands out of our pockets. We're going to control our finances and not have our creditors say, give me a portion of your income, give me something for this car, something for this mortgage, something for debt. We're in control. This is going to be an amazing show. This show is primarily sponsored by EAJ1023radio.com. On this show, people want to know what to do with their money. A number of callers are calling in to see how best to retire. How much money do I need during retirement? If you go on the Social Security website, it clearly says by 2035, Social Security will be gone. What does that mean for us? It's estimating that approximately 30% of all the monies promised to us won't be there. Why? Because they're currently paying out more than they're receiving. Hey guys, this is time for us to take control of our finances. Let's get this show started. We have Rhonda from Gaithersburg, Maryland on the line. Hi Rhonda.
Hi Paula, how are you?
I'm good, how are you? What can I do for you today?
I'm good. So me and Rodney, my husband, we're having a conversation about my collecting his Social Security when I decide to retire. And I'm thinking I'll be 60 at the end of the year. I'm trying to decide at what moment I will retire, 62, 66, 70. But in any event, he seems to think that both he can collect his Social Security and me at the same time. Is that true?
Is your husband still alive?
Of course.
Well, you can't collect survivor's benefits if there's no one to survive. He's still here with you. So you both can't collect his Social Security at the same time.
Okay.
Now,
so yeah, that's what I thought. My thinking was that very thing, that you only collect it once he is no longer here. That was my side of the conversation.
Yeah. To get his 100% of his benefits, he needs to be deceased, and you need to have so many credits. He needs to be at a certain age with certain credits, and you also need to be in a position where the money's been contributed towards Social Security. So, but there's no age in which you have to retire. If you're 60 years old and you have a plan for your retirement, you can retire anytime that you want to. Now, so what are you going to do when you retire? Have you made provisions for yourself to retire?
Well, I'm currently working on my rare organic shea product business to sort of be able to retire, relative retirement sunshine kind of thing. So working on that, I've been working on that now for the last 5 years. And, that's something I love to do. It's not stressful, and I can do it from anywhere.
Okay. So you said you have a shea butter cosmetic line that you have?
A shea butter skincare line, yes. Rare Glow Organic Shea Butter.
So why can't you retire? Why can't you, if your numbers are correct?
I just have to make sure everything's all set.
Okay.
Or maybe it doesn't need to be all set, It's
okay.
Just my butter business blend in with me phasing out working, my other job at United Airlines.
So let's talk about that. Do you have a retirement plan set up? Do you have a 401k established?
I do have a 401k, and I have a self-employment Roth, I guess you can call it. Maybe it's a Roth, but
it's an SEP, self-employment pension plan?
Huh?
A self-employment pension?
Yes.
Okay.
And then I guess United Airlines has some form of a pension. I just haven't quite figured that all out yet, because I work for an airline. I have my salon and my Rare Glow business. So it's just trying to, I guess, match everything all out.
So it sounds to me like you have a lot of control of your time. And I tell you what, first you need to decide how much you need in terms of numbers. Do you need $5,000? Do you need $7,000? Do you need $10,000 a month? And because you're at the age 60, you can start collecting from your 401k now. I don't know where you are, but and with COVID, I'm sure you've probably taken a large hit, but there's no reason why you can't start planning for your retirement today. 59 and a half years, you can start collecting from your retirement plans. If you have a SEP plan, same deal. That's also a retirement that you sponsor yourself from either your salon or your cosmetic line. And if you have a pension, your company determines when you can collect that. My company has said at the age of 65, I can start collecting the pension that they had established for us, which they stopped contributing to more than 10 years ago. But I think you're on a great path. So no, you can't collect your husband's Social Security, but you can go on the IRS website and do their retirement plan benefits calculator.
Oh, I didn't know. Okay, I'll do that.
Yes, ma'am. And that calculator will tell you at the age of 62 how much money you'll receive monthly. At the age of 67, how much you'll receive monthly. If you wait until the age 70, you'll get 120% of what you can receive.
Now, is that on the Social Security website or the IRS website?
Yes, ma'am. It's on your Social Security website, and I'll put it at the bottom of the screen. But absolutely, you have full control of when you can retire, as long as you have the money, and if you're not going into retirement with debt. Your husband can have his plan, you can have your plan, and if you don't start touching your Social Security now, you'll continue to gain and make additional money.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes. And you can enjoy your shea butter business from anywhere in the world that you want to be.
Exactly. I kind of love it when I am on vacation and I hear my phone go ding. That means somebody called me. So I love that ding from anywhere in the world that I happen to be.
Well, can I put your website at the bottom of my screen?
Yes, you can. It's www.rareglow.com. rareglow.com.
Absolutely. So you guys watching on YouTube, at the bottom of the screen is the name of her cosmetic line. You have an amazing day, okay, Rhonda?
Thank you so much.
Happy retiring.
Thank you.
You're watching me on YouTube. I want to bring these numbers here so that it can hit home for you. I went on the Social Security retirement estimator myself and played around with my numbers. And it's determined that at 1960, that's the magic timeline. If you were born before that, then you can retire at full Social Security benefits at the age of 66. If you were born after 1960, then you get full retirement benefits at the age of 67. You can retire at age 62, but you will forever receive reduced benefits. So I plugged in that I made $40,000 a year. At age 62, I'll receive approximately $1,900 a month. At age 67, approximately $2,800 a month. At age 70, you now are qualified to get up to 120% of your benefits. It will be $3,300 a month. I then plugged in that I made $65,000 a year, and it reported that I'd bring home approximately $2,000 at age 62. At age 67, approximately $2,900, and at age 70, I'd bring home approximately $3,500. Then I plugged in that I made $100,000 a year. At age 62, I would bring home $2,200 a year. At age 67, I would bring home $73,000 a year. At age 70, I would bring home $3,700 a year. The interesting thing to note is just because someone makes $1 million a year doesn't mean they're going to get a $20,000 a month Social Security benefit. It's capped. So in 2019 and 2020, if you made about $133,000 a year, your maximum contribution is $16,500. So what does that mean? Someone who makes $200,000, $300,000, their benefits are going to be about the same. I thought numbers and making it more visual may be important. I hope this helps. We have Miss Jackson from West Hempstead, New York on the line. Hi, Miss Jackson. How are you?
I'm doing great today. It's a beautiful day outside.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. What can I do to help you, ma'am?
So my question is today, I've been hearing different things about in terms of saving your savings, where you should have it. And I wanted to know what's the best place to keep your money in a traditional bank savings account, or does the credit union give you a better return?
That's a great question. Now, are we talking about retirement savings or emergency savings, or just money you have to put away?
Just a regular savings.
Just a regular savings. Well, I got to tell you, either a traditional bank or a credit union, I think they work the same in that you receive less than 1% interest on your money in a traditional bank or in a credit union. Now, if the money's used for, let's say, an emergency fund, 3 to 6 months, you're putting it away just to have it available in something in event of like a COVID, right? You lose your employment or some sort of emergency pops up, you need a new roof on your house, then you have that money available to you. So you can keep it there, because if the intention is just to have it available, then having it there is fine. It's safer than putting it under your mattress, but it's not going to grow very much.
Right.
If it's retirement money, then that's a different avenue you need to explore. So tell me, how does your household income look?
I'm sorry, repeat the question?
I said, what's your household income?
My household income is over $100,000.
$100,000, okay. And do you have any debt?
No, ma'am.
You have no debt, okay. And do you own your own home?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So, I mean, those are factors you need to look at. You need to say, what do I need to have my money for? And I think having savings is important. If you're looking to retire, it can be in addition to what you get in terms of your 401k, in terms of your pension, in terms of what Social Security gives you. I think having savings is amazing. And 80% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. So I think it's essential that we have a savings somewhere. And the beautiful thing is that you also don't have any debt, because debt is a disease and people don't recognize that debt steals from our financial future. So I think any way that you choose to put your money, I think it's fair. Are you saving towards retirement?
Yes.
Yeah. And how old are you, Miss Jackson?
I am 48.
You're 48 and you're actively working?
Yes.
Okay. So you know at 48 years old, you can put $19,500 into a 401k plan. Are you maxing that out?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So I think you're in a good path.
Yes, I'm trying. I've done my research. I've had many ups and downs and pitfalls, and it was a learning process. I'm still learning.
Well, and we all are. That, we're all learning and hopefully growing and benefiting from past experiences. But I can also tell you that if you look at some online banking institutions, and I don't recommend either one, but online, some of them are giving a little more than 2% in return on your savings. Why? Because they don't have the overhead as the brick and mortars do. They don't have many employees. They don't have, rents and leases to pay, no utility. So they're giving their customers a little more in terms of interest back. So that can be something you may want to consider in your research as well.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll think about that.
Okay. Anything else I can do for you?
No, I think that was the biggest question that I was thinking about.
Well, thank you for calling.
Because I'm hearing, you hear people say certain things, but I just wanted to confirm it with you, so I understand.
Okay, well, I think you're on a good path.
That's good. I'm trying.
Okay. Well, you enjoyed a beautiful day, Miss Jackson.
Okay, thank you for answering my question.
Okay, thank you. All right, bye. We have Ellie from Baltimore on the line. Hi, Ellie.
Hi, Paula. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. I just want to say I have a question about retirement, and I heard I've been listening to your show on EHA 1023 radio, and I think it's outstanding.
Thank you. Thank you. What can I do for you today?
Okay, so my question is, I'm 56 years old, and I haven't given much thought up to retirement until recently. I know that I'm behind in planning and would like advice on what I can do at this stage of my life to start preparing.
Okay, well, let's talk about the stage of your life. You're 56. Do you have a 401k retirement, 403b? Do you have pension plans? What do you have saved thus far?
I do have a 401k.
Okay. And how much is in your 401k?
After taking a hit, it's about 100,000.
Oh, excellent. Okay, that's an excellent start. And what about a pension plan? Do you have a pension?
No pension plan.
No. And you also can look at your Social Security retirement estimator, and that'll give you an idea of how much money you'll have in your retirement funds and you'll receive monthly. And that way you can start budgeting out. When do you plan to retire?
Well, I'm thinking that I can work until about 70.
Okay, excellent. Okay. And at that point, you'll be eligible for 120% of your Social Security retirement. So that's a good plan for you. So let's also talk about, what are your needs during retirement? How much money do you think you'll need monthly for retirement?
Yeah, that's a good question. I know I haven't looked at numbers, but I'm going to give you like a really broad number just based on what my salary, I guess, would be at this point.
Okay.
So I'm going to say anywhere monthly, you're saying, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Wide range, between 3,000 and 6,000.
3,000 and 6,000. Okay, and the reason why you need to know those things is, one, you shouldn't have to go into retirement with the amount of responsibilities that you have now. Meaning, for me, I want to ensure that my kids are out of college. Hopefully I'll have my house paid off. That's my goal. And I'm not intending on going into retirement with any debts. So where are you in your life now? Do you have any children that you're responsible for? What's going on?
I do have a 14-year-old. I have two that are out of college, and I have a 14-year-old who will be going to college in 4 years.
Okay. So in 4 years, so in 15 years, hopefully he's out. Now, have you made a plan for him in terms of paying for his college?
No, not really. My plan, unfortunately, with the other two was to just rely on their academic strengths, and the other two went to college with, scholarships. The majority of it, but I still had like a 20% responsibility for them.
Okay.
So no, other than that, and he's very smart, just like the other two. So that's kind of counting on something that may or may not happen.
Well, no, but you know what? The beautiful thing is, he's in 8th grade or 9th grade?
He's in 8th grade.
He's in 8th grade. The beautiful thing is, you can start applying for college scholarships in 9th grade. So I would encourage you to make that his job. Every weekend, insist that he apply to 2 to 4 scholarships. He can have his high school teachers start working with him on his essays and building them up and making them really strong. And once you have, 3 to 4 really strong essays, that can apply to each of your applications. So he can get money, and he can actually be very intentional about it and have enough money to go to school.
That's amazing. I actually did not know that you could apply for scholarships, in that far in advance.
Yes, ma'am, you can. I mean, there are some miracle stories of people who've applied for more scholarship money than that they needed for college, and it all became theirs at the completion of their education. But it's never too early. And I honestly believe that big universities, or even any university, may not be a good fit for every child. So you need to know your child. Is it a trade school? Can he start a community college? Can he go to a state university? I mean, Yale, Harvard, Princeton, Georgetown, amazing universities. But are you willing to put a $250,000 on the line for one of your children to complete undergrad? Questions to deal with. But as far as you go, I think $100,000 is an amazing start. So if Social Security gives you $2,000, then you have that $3,000 to $6,000 that you may need going towards retirement. Now, do you currently have any debt?
I do. That's actually really good news. I really thought I was like in a hole, but that's actually good to know. But I have a plan. I have a credit card that I'm going to be paying off by the end of this year, and then I will be tackling 2 other debts. So I'm pretty sure that in about 2 years I will be free of those type of debts. I will still have the house and the student loans.
But I got to tell you, Ellie, I think you're in a really good path. And like I said, at this point in time, you're awake. And you recognize that you have 14 years to capitalize. And at 56 years old, you can put away $26,000 a year. So think about it. If you get to a point in 2 years from now, and for the next 10 years, if you put away $26,000 a year, that's $250,000 in addition to the $100,000 that you have, not including interest. So although the market is down and we've all taken a hit, you have a lot of potential for growth in the next 10 to 15 years. So I think you'll be in a good path.
That's great. That's really awesome. I'm really happy that I made this call.
Well, I tell you what, why don't you give me a call back in 2 years when your credit cards are all paid off, and we can help maybe possibly get you on a different roadmap for more financial success.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, well, thanks for calling.
Thank you. Thanks, Paula.
Okay, have a great day.
You too.
All right, bye.
I've been listening to your show for quite a while now, and I really have to say that you give great advice, and that's why I'm calling today.
Thank you for calling. What can I do for you?
Well, I'm looking to invest some additional funds that I have.
Okay. Well, I'm not an investor. If you look at last week's show, I did have my personal financial advisor on the show, and he was giving information about investing. And one key thing that he did say is that if you're going to invest any money, you should be in a position where you don't need that money for the next 7 years. So why are you in a position to have this amount of money to put away each month? I think that's amazing because 80% of all Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. So you're in that 20%. So that's amazing. I'm so happy for you. What's going on in your life that you have all these funds?
So, Paula, quite a few years ago, about 5 years ago, my husband and I decided to downsize from my dream home. So we did have the dream home, and we decided to actually downsize and rent. So we actually rented for 4 years, and then that allowed us to save some additional money. And then just recently, we just purchased a home, but it's a smaller home. And then after that, I recently got promoted, whereby I'm getting an additional $40,000 a year. And so with all that, with 3 children and 2 of them out of school and supporting themselves, and a daughter who just goes to the local college here, we're able to have these additional funds available to invest.
Oh my gosh, Crystal, it sounds like you guys are on a great path. So let's back up just a little bit. So how old are you, Crystal?
So I'm 56 years old.
You're 56 years old. And now are you saving for retirement, your 401k, 403b, Roth IRAs? What are you doing?
Yes, I'm already saving in my retirement, and I do have a pension. And so, yes, we've been diligent in doing those things.
It sounds like you guys are really good money managers. And so you said 5 years ago you downsized from your dream home. How big was your dream home?
Well, my dream home was about 6,000 square foot on 3 acres of land. And again, once my children started going off to school, we decided that was a little bit too big, and so decided to downsize. Yes.
Who cleaned your house? So you decided to forego the dream home. And can we just back that up? So when you have these big houses, right, you have huge utility bills. Am I correct?
You're absolutely correct.
You have huge tax bills. You have 3 acres of land, so you probably had a huge tax bill.
We did. We
Okay.
did. And then with us having our 2 oldest children go off to college, they received scholarships. And so we actually didn't have a tax write-off. And that's another reason we decided to downsize.
Now, you know, and I understand that completely, because I know when I look at my propane bill, because we're not on natural gas, we're on propane, right? So my propane bill a month is so much money, it makes you want to scream. So your utilities alone, you're probably saving a ton of money.
A ton of money. I remember opening up my utility bills when I lived in the dream home, and the fees were just astronomical. And so now just to open up a bill and just see a third of that, is or a fourth of that is a blessing.
Right. So a dream home is not a dream home when you can't afford it. And it's not because you can't make your mortgage, you can't make your payments, but you don't have any extra, right? Every dollar that comes in has to go out somewhere. And then when you're thinking about potentially paying for college, where's the money?
Right,
So
right.
I think,
and I totally agree.
I think renting is so smart. People don't value that. Some people look down upon it. But I think with renting, especially if you downsize, it gives you a moment in time to clear your head. And when you're clearing your head, you get to make really good financial decisions. So I applaud you and your husbands for being so smart and being forward and preparing yourselves for your future, because now you can make good decisions.
Yes, and that's actually what happened. We were able to downsize, and I know a lot of people don't like to think about renting because they're like, oh, I went from this big house and now I'm renting. But for us, it was actually a positive because we were able to save money, we were able to pay off debt, and find ourselves in a great position to purchase again.
And you know what I think is also a really important position that you mentioned is that you said your daughter, or you said you had 3 children, 2 out of college, 1 in college, your daughter?
Yes.
Yeah, you said your daughter's in the local community college.
She is, and doing quite well there, and she didn't have to go away to a $40,000 a year college. But I know that having her at the local college has been a benefit for her.
And you know what happens ultimately is people again don't value that. So I went to the community college in New York City. I did my first 2.5 years there, and then I transferred and I got my 4-year degree. There's nothing wrong with community colleges. So I think you and your husband are amazing in that you guys make some really strong, solid financial decisions. Now, I can't help you to invest that additional money that you have, but what I do say to you is do what we do in healthcare. We do what's called daily dosing averages, where we may say medication has to be given every 6 hours, every 12 hours, every 8 hours. Don't put all your money in the market at one time. So it's called dollar cost averaging in terms of financing, where you're putting a little bit in the market so that your money can buy either at a high or at a low. But I would suggest you seek a financial advisor who can help you with managing your money. And congratulations again on making really good decisions.
Thank you so much. So do you have any advice on any financial advisors? I mean, do you have a recommendation?
I can tell you to look at my last show, and he is the CEO and owner of Platinum Bridge Wealth Management. I use him myself. I love him, but I do encourage you to do your own homework. Check out his history. Check out his any criminal behavior. Check out his registration. Make sure that it's all solid for you. But anyone you choose, I'm sure if you and your husband continue to follow up on it, it'll be amazing. Congratulations again.
Thank you, Paula. Thank you for thank you for taking my call today. I've learned a lot, and I wish you the very best.
Thank you
so much.
Have a great day.
Oh, you too.
Bye. Well, guys, again, I can't thank you all enough for, one, listening to my show and being a part of the audience. Secondly, as you can see today, that retirement is a big deal. This is why I say to you, we need to be in a position where we can maximize our retirements. Everyone's retirement's different. As you can see from the estimator, that your needs may be different. Someone's $5,000 can take them further, while someone else's $5,000 may not be enough. What are your needs? I suggest that you go onto the Social Security website and look at the estimator and determine, can you live on what they're going to give you per month in addition to what you've planned away for your 401k, your 403b, your SEP IRAs. All those contributions can determine when and how successful you can be during retirement. But there is no set age to retire. No one says you have to be 66 or 67 or 70 to retire. You can retire whenever you can afford to retire. Plan for that. You can put money away and cover that gap. Meaning, if you decide to retire at 50 years old and you want to collect Social Security at the age of 70, can you afford to bridge that 20-year span? It's not impossible, guys. We don't have to live our lives regimented. We can do some of the things that we love to do. I'm a nurse anesthetist, but giving advice and being a debt coach is so important to me. I do this so that we can all have more success in our retirement. I love you. Continue listening to EAJ1023radio.com and have an amazing day. Remember, faith over fear.
Roberts Targets Financial is not a certified professional service of finances, brokers, accountants, taxes, insurance, or legal. We research the advice that is given to provide the most accurate, up-to-date information. This information is designed to work in conjunction with your information. All information is suggestions. We recommend that you consult with a trusted licensed professional for your specific decisions. All information is for general purposes. We are not liable for any losses or gains. We accept no responsibility for any decisions made after participating on or from listening to the show or from Roberts Targets Financials. If you like this episode, hit the subscribe button.